Pat Pagano's been on vacation all week long, and that means Dan Henry's been in the Weather Center all week long. And the Weather Center is well air conditioned and ventilated, and so it has to be. Good morning.
Good morning, Marshall. Good to be with you.
Well, we've got a day off from a heat advisory, but then all day Saturday from noontime right through all day on Sunday for a heat advisory. The National Weather Service says heat index is possibly as high as 102 degrees.
Yes, that's definitely the big story, I would say, for the weekend. The heat will be returning, and no slouch today on the temperature either. Low 90s for a high. It's just a little less humid today. The humidity does make a comeback for Saturday and Sunday, so definitely with those outdoor plans, I would try to get those done early or late, so to speak, because, the heat index could be up into the triple digits, 100 to 102, especially Sunday. I think Sunday is the hotter of the 2 days marginally over Saturday. With a couple isolated storms in the forecast on Sunday, should be cooling us off a little bit, but I think we're going to stay mainly dry around the region until we get to the next work week. But I think finally the heat breaks, Marshall, as we head toward the next work week. Monday looks to me to be a big change, overcast with some showers and storms.
You were right on with the prediction of the thunderstorms yesterday. I went out and my little front stoop, I was assembling a chair and a table, and as I was assembling it, it got really cloudy. I could hear rumbles of thunder, so I pulled out my weather app, and the thunderstorm was just to the north of us. Got a few drops, but then the sun came out, and the humidity went down for a little bit. Then once again, it got really humid again, and once again, more thunderstorms to the north of us. But it was funny because I had a neighbor stop by and talk to me at one point and advise me, Marshall, go inside, get your regular tools. Don't try to assemble the stuff with the tools that they supply. So he left, and I took his advice. I went inside, came back out, and he came back 10 minutes later. He said, "You look dry." So I said, "Yeah, I am dry." Why? He said, "Because about 3 miles away, I just had a downpour." And I said, "Was it to the north?" He goes, "Yeah, it was to the north." So almost everything went to the north of us yesterday.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit more of the energy from that shortwave front I was talking about did just pass a little bit to the north of the area, but really what ended up happening, if I'm being perfectly frank, is the storm sort of split and across the city, actually, toward the 5 boroughs. There were 3 of the 5 of them under a severe thunderstorm warning at one point because there was a little overachieving storm down that way. But by and large, across Vermont, New Hampshire, a lot of damaging straight-line wind gusts of 55 to 65. A lot of damage reports coming out of there this morning, but just down trees and down power lines. I didn't see anything too crazy. And then there was also some small hail up to ping pong ball size that was reported. And I'm convinced now that it's directly correlated to the fact that Pat's been on vacation all week, that the weather has been incredibly busy for me.
I wonder how the weather has the weather been hot where he's been.
Oh yes. Down there he's somewhere in the mid-Atlantic, and it's been quite warm down there. Upper 80s, I think, on the coast. So pretty good beach weather. If you're headed out to the beach, you don't want it to be 68. You want it to be 88. Get your sun, and then you can get back in the AC.
I don't think Pat's a beach guy. I don't think he's a beach guy. I think he's a more cerebral vacationer. Does other things. I don't think he's a beach guy, but he should be because of Italian heritage. If anybody's going to tan beautifully, it'd be Pat. It'd be Pat. He could look like he came right from Rome. With that,
I'm morbidly curious now. What do you mean by a cerebral vacation? Does he do a lot of crossword puzzles?
He does. I think he does crossword puzzles. I think he does reading. I think he goes to specific locations that he picks out to visit and stuff. I don't think he's the type of guy because his normal hangout on the weekend is he goes up to his cabin and he's got the lake right there. So I think when he goes on vacation, instead of doing what he does normally at the lake, he expands out a little bit. But he's not the type of person that's going to, go on vacation for a week and plunk an umbrella down at the beach and sit there for hours. So yeah, he does more different things like that, and he wasn't even really that thrilled about taking a vacation this year. That was the amazing thing about it. He wasn't really even that thrilled, but at least he's not it's worse when you get a rain out and you have to just stay inside all vacation, and at least he's not getting that. So, which is good. So,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he seems like a very hardworking guy. From the year or so that I've known him, this is the first time I think I've seen him out for an entire week, which, I think that's some serious dedication coming into work.
does
5, 6 o'clock in the morning every day for a year. It takes a lot of effort.
it does, yeah. No, he's a nose to the grindstone kind of guy. So now, with you living in Florida, where do you go for a vacation?
Honestly, I get pretty sick of the relentless heat and humidity, so pretty much anywhere. I'm actually originally from Michigan,
Oh,
so if I sound like a Canuck sometimes when I talk, it's a weird mix of Canadian and Southern in my dialect from my hybrid upbringing. But I love going back up north. I love the fall colors. I love the apple cider and the donuts and the sand dunes in the northern part of the state. I love Michigan, love my home state, and I do enjoy also going out west. I've got a trip planned to Lake Tahoe come October, and the water's a little cooler there than it is here. It's like bathwater here in the Gulf this time of year. It's like, it's 95 outside, and you get in the water, and the water temperature can be 90 degrees because the Gulf of Mexico is so shallow. And of course, we get all the daytime heating that it's like not really even much relief if you get in the water here on a hot beach day. So I'm not a huge beach person either. I did it a lot as a kid and a teenager, and I kind of got beached out. I've been sandy enough times. I don't need to do it again necessarily all the time. So mountains are fun, rolling hills, change in scenery. It's just pancake flat here, so I like to see a little topography. But parts of Florida are nice too. Gainesville, northern Florida, beautiful. It doesn't look like Florida at all. It's very, very hilly. A lot of Spanish moss hanging from the trees, and a more southern look to it. So yeah, there's a lot of good places around.
all right. Around here, you mentioned about the pool temperature. I've got a friend. I was telling me their pool temperature yesterday was at 80 degrees, but it's still cooler than 95 on the outside and humid. But it warmed right up over the past week. It went from like 75, 74 degrees up to 80 degrees.
And that's remarkable for New York. For I'm assuming that pool was not heated for
No,
it to get up to 80 on its own.
no, it's not heated. It's
I
just
mean,
out. It's just out there in the sunlight. That's all. Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely impressive. Mine's probably, I'd say, probably 88, 89 right now. You get in and almost feels like a hot tub. And my girlfriend is like, you should get a hot tub. And I'm like, well, give it
Why?
2 weeks. The entire pool will be one. you know?
Just sit in the pool and splash. That's what I have to do. All right, let's recap the forecast for today into the weekend.
Sure thing. So early heat today leads to some isolated, locally strong storms tonight. Not expecting severe weather here, maybe to the west across upstate New York. Low 90s for a high. Tonight, a stray storm still possible, but mainly dry, otherwise partly cloudy. Mid 60s for a Saturday morning low. Heating quickly Saturday under partly cloudy skies from the mid 60s to the mid 90s with that heat advisory in effect beginning 12 o'clock on Saturday. And then Saturday night, partly cloudy and muggy near 70. Sunday, the hottest day of the next 5, very hot and humid, scattered storms building in late mid-90s, feeling like 100 to 102 Sunday afternoon. Monday, big changes on the way, I think. Overcast then with showers likely and thunderstorms in the afternoon, mid to upper 80s.
All right, well, it's been great speaking to you all week. I guess the next time we'll speak to you is when Pat goes away.
That sounds like a plan to me, and I appreciate you having me.
All right, take care.
Thanks.
That is a check on our tri-state forecast on Robin Hood Radio, and Pat will be back next week from Vacazione.